She's got it. Dakotah Lindwurm is off to Paris.
I don't know. I just showed up every day. I was working really hard. I just had this undeniable belief in myself. I knew I could carry this flag on my shoulders and represent this country, and here we are.
Minnesota native Dakotah Lindwurm draped in stars and stripes on February 3rd in Orlando, Florida.
And the race is on for third.
Following her third place finish that cemented her first ever Olympic berth for Team USA. But believe it or not, 26.2 miles would be Lindwurm's road less traveled, because this course all began on the ice.
Yeah, I mean, growing up, just being a true Minnesotan, you have to play hockey. It's like a rite of passage.
So in true Minnesota fashion, Lindwurm claimed herself to be a rink rat from the second grade all the way through high school. But it wasn't until after her freshman year where the ice began to tilt.
My freshman year, my mom was like, I think it's really great when athletes are, broadening their horizons. It makes them better at their main sport. And I threw a fit because, I only wanted to play hockey.
While reluctant at first, at her core, Lindwurm knew that her mom knew best.
I went up for the track team because I typically won the mile in gym class, and I thought, I must be pretty good at this, so I'll give running a shot. It was really good, and obviously, my mom was right, so.
Moms are always right.
From then on, her mom's advice would lead Lindwurm into a different direction.
It just slowly took over my life in a very sneaky way where I was more excited to go to track or cross country practice, and in the summers I was putting in, more miles and I was spending time on the ice.
A love for running that would continue. Lindwurm would join the Northern State track and cross country team in South Dakota as a walk-on. There she became a Division II two-time All-American and left Aberdeen as a scholarship athlete in 2017. That's when her coach asked her, what's next?
I've got a degree in teaching, I'm gonna do that. It's no, running-wise, what's the plan? And I was I'll run a few 5Ks, 10Ks, whatever. I loved to run, so I was gonna continue to do that.
So those conversations between Lindwurm and her college coach, Kevin Berkey, lingered on.
Actually, as I was dropping her off from the airport from her last national cross-country meet, she kind of broke down and is just what am I supposed to do now? My running career is over. And that's when I'm okay, we really need to chat here in the next few weeks.
The moment he said, I think you can make the Olympic trials, and then literally the next day I walked into his office and I was I need to know everything about this. Tell me all about professional running. How do I do it? How do I get into it? Just the moment he planted that seed, I started watering it.
And once that happened, what came from there?
Well, him and I both reached out to my current coach, Chris Lundstrom, with Minnesota Distance Elite, and we basically had to beg him to let me on the team.
And once again, to no one's surprise, Lindwurm's relentless spirit and competitive nature continued to take its course.
And they allowed me to join the team officially.
Now a professional runner, in 2018, Lindwurm ran as a pro for the first time in the Gary Brooklyn Half Marathon. So with her local success on her eyes, she ran the full race the next year, at the time that qualified her for the U.S. Olympic trials. Then in 2021, Lindwurm's career entered a new era. She became the first Minnesotan to win Grandma's in 30 years, and then defended her title in 2022. Establishing herself as one of the best marathon runners in the country.
I've used Grandma's as my North Star. Every year it's brought me higher and higher in my career.
Surpassing 1 mile marker and on to the next. Now en route to becoming one of the best marathoners in the world.
Add Dakotah Lindwurm's name to that list.
That final moment, I just literally went, what? What's happening right now? I remember it so vividly.
A sigh of relief and a moment of joy, but not just for Lindwurm.
She was coming down and I heard everybody yelling, there's a battle for third and fourth. I'm oh, who's in third and fourth? And it's Lindwurm and Rotich, and I'm I'm Dakotah's dad. And I was 20 feet from the gate, and they just parted, it was parting the Red Sea. They all let me go right up to the front, so I was right on the rail. But it was pretty emotional, pretty crazy.
Have you ever felt that amount and that wave of emotions?
No, never in my life, no. I relive it every day too, almost. When like I said, I watch the race every day going to work, and I get the same feeling every day. It's hard to believe.
Dakotah Lindwurm has gone to the front.
The disbelief was also felt from a distance as Berkey watched from back home.
Well, first of all, number one, I was in a bowl of tears on my couch watching it.
Even if she came home with a gold medal, I still couldn't be any more happier than I am right now. I don't think it's possible. Like Herb Brooks says, great moments are created by great opportunities, and that's what she had, and that's what she earned.
Lindwurm is not just looking for a screen-worthy ending, but an extraordinary finish, believing in her own miracle right around the corner, pinned in Paris.
I'm such a dreamer. I think it's totally possible to bring home a medal, but I just think once that gun goes off, I'm gonna feel so happy and relieved to finally be able to say, like, I'm Olympian Dakotah Lindwurm.
She's got it. Dakotah Lindwurm is off to Paris.
Outrunning her old title for good, now going for gold.